What's going on, family? It's your boy, Pastor Wes here. And as we normally do, we're going to do a little bit of Bible study, read a couple verses, and then just talk about what it really means for us. All right. Today, we're going to be in Luke chapter 14, and I'm going to read verses 27 through 30. All right. The Word of God says, "Whoever does not carry the cross and follow me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, intending to build a tower, does not first sit down and estimate the cost, to see whether he has enough to complete it? Otherwise, when he has laid a foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it will begin to ridicule him, saying, 'This fellow began to build and was not able to finish.'" Jesus was speaking to large crowds who had gathered, and pretty much he was talking to them about a couple of things, but overarching is this idea of the cost of discipleship. To be a disciple of Jesus Christ is something that should cost us something. Okay? One of the things I really wish and pray for the American church is that we begin to understand and connect with the cost of discipleship. I think that there's too much easy and cheap grace out there. There are people that are talking about, well, even if somebody breaks the law, they're still okay. There are all these things that are out there that are teaching people that it's okay to kind of be rough around the edges and all of this type of stuff. There's a cost to discipleship. There are some things that we have to crucify on a proverbial cross in order for us to be true disciples of Jesus. Some of those things that we have to crucify on these crosses are the idols of money. Some of them may be the idols of self-aggrandizement. Some of those things that we have to crucify on these proverbial crosses is this notion that you can just treat anybody however you want to treat them, rather than to follow the tenet of Jesus that says you have to love your neighbor as yourself. And oh, by the way, you might actually have to love even your enemies. We have to daily pick up our cross and follow him. He says, "You cannot be my disciple if you do not carry your cross." Another text in Matthew says, "Pick up your cross daily and follow him." So it means it's a decision that you do every single day. So to me, when we think about Christianity, there has to be it's going to be painful. It's going to cost you something. It's going to require you to work at it. Loving other people when people are less than perfect takes work. Treating your neighbor the way you want to be treated, and dare I say, loving your enemies, it takes work. But you have to measure that cost if you want to say that you want to be a disciple of Jesus. We can't say we want to say, "Oh, I love Jesus. I love Jesus, but I don't love all those Jesus things that kind of sound a little too woke to me." That's not how it works. Jesus is Jesus, whether you think it's woke or not, whether you think it's conservative, liberal, whatever in between. Jesus is Jesus, and he said what he said. So he said that if you want to be a disciple, you got to carry that cross. And in order for you to really count that cost, you got to think of it in the way of, if you're going to build a tower, you would sit down, build a house, sit down, and you would estimate the cost. So you got to really think seriously. If you want to claim and go out there and claim the banner of Jesus, have at it. I have no issues with that. But you better count the cost. You better understand what it's going to cost you. You can't just indulge in whatever you want to indulge in and have whatever ideologies you want to have and then say that you're a Jesus follower. Doesn't work that way. He told it to his disciples. He told it to the crowds. And I'm telling you, Jesus said what he said. Count the cost if you want to be a disciple of Jesus Christ. Guys, take care.